Control of Congress is too close to call. It could be days or even weeks before we know which party will control the Senate, and the House is likely to turn Republican, but that's not settled yet either. So far, Republicans have gained 6 House seats, while the Senate is now projected to be tied. It's not the red wave Republicans were hoping for, and it was an especially disappointing night for former President Trump. But while it was better than expected for President Biden, his ability to work across the aisle could be tested like never before. And ABC News can now project Republican Senator Ron Johnson to win his bid for re-election in Wisconsin, beating Democratic challenger Mandela Barnes. Senior Washington reporter Devin Dwyer joins me live now to break it all down. Devin, what does this mean for each party's path to control of the Senate now?
This is a huge relief for Republicans in Wisconsin, Diane. Also a big disappointment for Democrats. Ron Johnson, the 2-term senator from that state, was seen as the most vulnerable Republican on the map. But ABC News is projecting, as you just said there, that Ron Johnson will hold on to his seat at this hour, with 94% of precincts reporting he's ahead by about 30,000 votes. And that's what you see, and you see that right there in those results, about 50% of the vote there. But that means in terms of the big picture control of the Senate, that Republicans still need 2 seats, because John Fetterman won in Pennsylvania. That was a +1 for them. They need to win 2 more seats in the outstanding races in order to take control. And that means all eyes are on Nevada. Take a look at the results in Nevada at this hour. Catherine Cortez Masto, the incumbent Democratic senator, she is hanging on for dear life there. Democrats had been hoping to hold this seat, but it's not looking likely that they will be able perhaps to keep it. Arizona, also a very close race. Mark Kelly, the Democrat there, holding on. He's the incumbent, so that would sort of be a wash. And this could all come down to Georgia, Diane. That's where all of the energy seems to be focusing on, that really razor-thin margin between Raphael Warnock, the Democrat, facing off with Herschel Walker, the Republican. Still too close to call there, and neither of those candidates has maintained 50% of the vote, with 96% of expected vote counted. That would mean, if that holds, Diane, that race is headed for a runoff. So we may not get the final results in the battle for the Senate until Christmas time. Another month of campaigning in Georgia. Still too close to call in that state, and we'll have to see where things head in the next hours and days.
Now, Devin, Republicans appear likely to take control of the House, but that's not a sure thing. So where do those races stand?
Yeah, remember, 435 seats in the U.S. House were all up for grabs last night. And at this hour, we just saw the slate a few minutes ago, Republicans have grabbed 209 of those seats. Democrats have gained just over 191 seats. Republicans flipping 6 that were held by Democrats over the past couple of years. So that's a good sign for them. But they're not there yet. You need 218 seats to have a majority. Too close to call for ABC News at this hour. So we're still waiting on some 40 outstanding races in the United States House. Republicans are on track, but if they do, in fact, clinch a majority, Diane, it's likely to be a very narrow one.
And we have talked a lot about the key issues this election cycle. What stands out to you from the exit polls, Devin?
I spent a lot of time on the campaign trail, Diane. I know you were out there as well. Economy is top of mind. Inflation, people really getting hit in the pocketbook. They're not happy with the Democratic administration, full Democratic control of Congress. So we saw that influence voters across the board yesterday. But one of the other surprising factors was the issue of abortion. Typically, that is not a top issue for voters. We did see it this year in the wake of that Supreme Court decision. Right up there, 1 and 2, even the top issue in some states, Pennsylvania. It was the #1 issue on voters' minds and what shaped their vote. But let's take a look at how people voted in Wisconsin. What were the issues that were driving Wisconsin voters? They just called that key Senate race. And here's the board. This is from the exit poll of people who cast their ballots yesterday. You can see inflation was the #1 issue on voters' minds in Wisconsin. But look at that. Right behind it, abortion. Very unusual. We don't normally see it that high. This is a critical state. Wisconsin has abortion rights. Tony Evers, the Democratic governor, won re-election there. It's a Republican-controlled legislature, so likely abortion rights going to stay in place there. But look at crime and gun policy. They're pretty far down on the list. Those had been top issues that Republicans hoped to make a defining feature of this campaign. They didn't really take hold, it seems, in Wisconsin. Immigration, 7%. So economy and abortion, as you see it in Wisconsin, was sort of true across the board last night, Diane, the dominant issues in this campaign.
All right, Devin Dwyer, we appreciate it as always. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.